Let's bring in Laura Ingraham now to find out what she did on the 4th of July. Hey, Laura, did you have a good one?
Hey, Laura.
Hey, guys, I did. I was in, for most of the weekend, I was up in Stowe, Vermont, which I hadn't been to since I was in college just a few years ago, so that was a lot of fun. Those are my friends, the Kingsleys, and it was beautiful to see the ski slopes when they were green, not white. And then yesterday I was with friends here in Washington where it was rainy, but we had a lot of fun.
Not according to PBS, because they ran last year's video of the fireworks display, so it looked great.
I noticed that. It seemed very clear in the skies, even though it was raining here.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it cleared up down at the Capitol, down at the mall.
No kidding. I was down in Florida with my family, and the #1 topic, wherever I went, was people were talking about Hillary being grilled by the FBI for 3 hours. And just the optics of, you see Loretta Lynch with Bill Clinton. We heard about that. Then she gets interviewed by the FBI down at headquarters before her tickets for Hamilton. Next thing you know, today she's taking a spin on Air Force One. It looks to many like the fix is in, like this was all scripted ahead of time. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think for a long time I've been very doubtful about Hillary being indicted. People always come up to me, including in Vermont over the weekend. So, do you think she's going to be indicted? No, I don't. I don't think she's going to be indicted. Do I think she should be? I mean, I haven't seen all the evidence, but it certainly doesn't look good. But I can tell you this: that meeting again between Bill Clinton and Loretta Lynch,
unbelievable,
was so off the charts, unethical, inappropriate, and a credibility killer for this investigation. So it's easy for her to say, well, I expect to accept the decision of the prosecutor. You have to look at her language. I think everyone said, well, she's recusing herself. Well, she's not recusing herself. She expects to accept. That's different from I am going to accept.
Sure.
So some of the language is left a little wiggle room there, but I'd just be very, very surprised.
When you expect to accept something, does that mean you expect to know what they expect to give you?
Right. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, well, the timing of his jumping on board the plane. Then she is about to be interviewed by the FBI. She obviously knew she was about to be interviewed, Hillary, and Loretta Lynch, I imagine, she knew she was about to be interviewed, and so Bill Clinton probably was obviously knew. So the timing was just beyond, smelly to say the least.
Yeah, well, the thing about the airplane was apparently Bill Clinton was there fixing to take off, and the Secret Service said, okay, we got to take off, Mr. President, because we don't want 2 motorcades on the tarmac out at Sky Harbor at the same time. And he said, nope, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
And he he held that flight for half an hour, then bolted across the tarmac. Can I come in?
It was just to talk about his, the grandkids.
Of course.
And all of that.
Golf.
Yeah, the baby lessons and all the rest of it. There was nothing to it.
Right.
I mean, but also he obviously is not abiding by that seatbelt sign that we're all told to abide by when they're, clearly not doing that.
What do you think about Hillary Clinton jumping on board Air Force One and going down to North Carolina and taking the president so that they can campaign together?
Well, it's her best weapon in this campaign. There's no doubt about it. She has no record to run on. She has no record of success to boast about. What she does have is an alliance with a guy for whom the public has a lot of affection still, and that's Barack Obama, despite the lagging economy, despite ISIS attacks on the homeland and other, Islamic attacks on the homeland. There's still, it's surprising to me, a great deal of affection for President Obama. So she's got to have that. Without that, I don't know what she does have. And Obama remains one of the most powerful campaigners in American life. I mean, Republicans wish they had someone as good as Obama is on the stump. I mean, I wish we had someone that talented just to dominate a stage, and he's really, really good at it.
I mean, is there any doubt that he's going to be the surrogate in chief? I think you're making a great point. I mean, he will be the surrogate in chief. When things get tough, they will go back to the president, will they not? Yeah,
he'll be there as the rescuer of Hillary. I mean, the polls are tightening somewhat. I think the last poll showed Hillary was down, up 5 points. Even with Trump's kind of difficult last 5 or 6 weeks, I mean, it's tight. It's really tight. And the president wants to keep his whole globalist thing going. He wants to move this into a post-American world, and Hillary is the best vehicle to do that. And so they're putting aside all their past differences. and he's going to try to sell her to the American people. The question is, are the American people going to buy it? You know, what is her record of success other than being out there and trashing Trump? I just don't see it.
I like the way you depicted it as they put aside all their past differences. They hate each other. If you believe the stories that have been written, they hate each other. Meanwhile, Obama can't like this. If he was reading the deposition that was taken last week by Judicial Watch, apparently Huma Abedin, who is her #1 aide, there she is whispering in Hillary's ears, they did a depo last week, and she was asked, are you aware of your obligation at the State Department not to delete the federal records or destroy federal records? And she said, you know what? Some of the Mrs. Clinton's schedules, we just put in a burn bag, which is extraordinary. Who at the Department of State puts things into the burn bag to burn up their calendars? As we've heard in the past, it's all about yoga and wedding plans and stuff like that. Burn bag.
Well, one would think that Hillary Clinton's schedule is also kept electronically. I mean, I would be stunned if it weren't. So I don't really see the significance of burning it. But I don't think many people watching Fox and Friends this morning would be surprised to know that documents go missing in the hands of the Clintons. We saw that going back to the Rose Law Firm billing records that just magically, after they were, they were subpoenaed, just magically appeared on some tabletop in the West Wing. So I don't think many people are surprised to hear this. The question is, how far do their admissions go, and what happened in that interview with Hillary Clinton by the FBI on Friday? I mean, Abedin, she swears to tell the whole truth, and she raises her right hand, so she has to tell the truth, otherwise she's guilty of perjury. Seems like to me, at least on that, she told the truth. And it's just another piece of evidence that I think adds up to a lack of transparency despite their promises of the most transparent administration. And the other question is, what are you hiding? What meetings or what conversations are donors to the Clinton Foundation? If I had to guess, that's probably where this would have gone, or other things she just doesn't want people to know about, just like her emails that have gone missing. So if you don't destroy something unless you're worried about someone else reading it, and so that's clearly the case here.
So bizarre. I wonder, where they go and they burn all this stuff.
Out to the dump.
Out to the lawn, the White House lawn.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, exactly. A ceremonial burning.
Right,
now, there's a federal burn location where I'm sure the taxpayers would find a lot of interesting information.
Wouldn't surprise us, right?
All right.
Exactly.
Laura, thank you very much. She's the
Thanks,
editor-in-chief of LifeSet, and now she's going to go do her radio show heard all across the country.